important subject, mind, the most important part of the body which controls us. Mind is about mental process, thought and consciousness. Mind is a set of faculties including consciousness, imagination, perception, thinking, intelligence, judgment and expression also. Psychologists say mind has three states: consciousness, subconsciousness and unconsciousness. Subconscious is a data bank for everything which is not in consciousness. It stores your belief, stores your skill, stores previous experience, memory, what you have seen, what you have thought, everything. We can compare the mind. In fact, psychologists compare the mind is a wild monkey. It runs from one place to another place in a fraction of time. Unless you tame, the mind is your enemy. No one can harm you more than your mind. Mind is your best friend if controlled, if trained. It is very difficult to control, but it is not difficult if you practice like Madhabananda ji. Today, we have a great person with us who controls the mind as he wishes. Today, we will hear the fact, the practice of controlling mind from him. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Just now, I joined again. Okay, sir. Now, when I'll start the program, nobody can join. So please excuse me, those who want to join. Jai Jagannath. Niladro Sankha Madhe Satadala Kamale Ratna Singhasanastam Sarvalankara Yuktam Navaghana Ruchiram Sanjutam Tagratena Bhadraya Bhama Bhagi Rathacharana Jutam Brahmarudrendra Sebyam Devanang Saramisang Sujana Paribhutang Brahmadaru Namami. Jai Shri Jagannath. Parama Karunika, Koti Odiyankar Aradhya Devata, Akasa Mati, Samudra, Pani, Tatha Manisha Jagatara Srashta, Shri Shri Jagannathangara Chararan Kamalare, Koti Koti Pranam.
Dr. Namita, now, is the audience is demanding you speak in English?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I'm quite.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Direct you and very. Your introduction must be very short. Already we delayed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got the audience are impatient. So you quickly go. Already our Kali Prasad Mishra has told his talk. Yes. So you just formality you do and then
sir.
Straight sir. We can go to the main program.
Okay, sir. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the lotus feet of my spiritual Guru Lord Sri Jagannath. Dr. Namita Pattanaik, the Assistant State Commissioner, Odisha State Bar Scouts and Guide, and the Convener of National Opinion, invite you to this Google Board. Yes. Joining us today is a spiritual and an amazing visionary, Swami Madhabananda ji, as our chief speaker of this morning. What's special about him is that he loves helping persons like us to build and create good citizens with humble character who will like to lead in the society coming forward. As you know, today we are going to conduct 35th National Webinar on the topic My Mind, Friend or Foe. It is an initiative to develop the spiritual potentiality of scout, guide, rover, ranger, volunteers, professionals, and all the persons in the society. This is organized by the rover ranger units of Mercy College of Natural Law in active support of Odisha State Bharat Scouts and Guides. I offer my profound veneration and humble submission to all the participants, the devotees of Lord Sri Jagannath, the President, Trustee of Mawa, Sri Bhagwan Pandaji, and the member of Manav Sevak Kendra, and the members of all the participants here attending this for encouraging us by joining this webinar. I now invite and welcome all the participants, our Chief Patron, Dr. K.P. Mishra, Reward, National Vice President, Bharat Scouts and Guides, and State Chief Commissioner, Odisha State Bharat Scouts and Guides, and also State Secretary, Mr. R.M. Dora, and all the SSQ staffs of Odisha State Bharat Scouts and Guides. I also invite the gold medalist, the philosophy, Professor Prashant Kumar Acharya, the HOD, Logic and Philosophy Department of Mercy College of Natural Law, and all the invitees to this Google board. Now, I request all the volunteers of Scouts and Guides, please salute. Salute to our guest. Jaise the. Now, this is the greetings, Swamiji, from the world's largest youth movement, the uniform, the discipline, and the dedicated educational organization working for the universal brotherhood and sisterhood organization. Now we'll have only 1 minute prayer, then we'll start with our Swamiji. Only 1 minute. Please bear with me. Scout Guide prayer. Please टिके कथाबार्ता बंद करंतु भाई भौणी माने टिके कथाबार्ता बंद करंतु रेकॉर्डिंग होची आज्ञा Sir, sorry, prayer, sir, only prayer, nothing else.
Swamiji ବ୍ୟସ୍ତ ହେଲେଣି.
Sir, खाली prayer टा कर दिए sir, ठाकुरों को prayer कर दबा sir. गोटे मिनिट पाई prayer खाली, गोटे मिनिट.
What happened? Why you are silent?
Sir, just a minute. I welcome Swami Madhabananda ji, the resident Swamiji of Chinmay Mission, Patiala, Punjab. Thank you for bearing with all sort of
Okay, you are so emotional. Fine. I accept it. Continue.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. Now, a very small introduction about our Swamiji. As all of you know, Swamiji Madhabananda ji became the Acharya Chinmay Mission, Patiala, joined the Chinmay Mission at the very tender age at 18. He did the Vedant course at the mission with ancient philosophy, stress management, and in the traditional way, and posted immediately in the Chinmay Vidyalaya at Nalco. Then he inspired people through different spiritual talk by conducting different discourses on Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Ramayana, and Bhagavat. He had also the opportunity of infusing good moral values and ethics in children right from their formative year. So nothing more to add. Only one sentence I can put here. He had been to Kolkata to serve as the Acharya there, and where he had interacted with a wide section of people coming from different walk of life through different organizational setup, corporate houses, by conducting talks and all this yoga, dhyana, pranayam, Gita. Moreover, he is also there in Himachal Pradesh and conducting brahmachari course at Siddhabari. So why I'm telling all these things? Because Pujya Swamiji moved to different places and conducted different programs on spiritual motive to inculcate a spiritual motive on the people of India, not only in India, but also in foreign countries like Sri Lanka and all other countries. So recently, in a brief stint in Patiala, he has impressed everyone with his deep knowledge of scriptures and his intense desire to impart their jnana to his dear devotees. So since his arrival, he has added a lot of charm, dignity to Chinmay Jagruti Ashram by his online discourses and many other activities that are being conducted him by regularly. And now, seen so many people over here because they are the disciple of Swamiji, where he is conducting a spiritual discourses on Bhagavad Gita on the platform of Mawa and Sri Jagannatha Chintao Chetana worldwide and Mac. So I now welcome our chief speaker of this morning to answer two of our objectives, as are told. Number one is to understand why events unfolded one way or other and how to judge everyone, everything around us. And finally, how to manage this mind game and spiritually. So to get the answer, let's invite our chief speaker, Swami Madhabananda ji, the resident Swamiji of Chinmay Mission, Patiala, Punjab. Let us over to Swami Madhabananda ji. Sir.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathayate Namaha. This program is being organized by Odisha State Bharat Scout and Guide. Our chief patron is there, Dr. Kali Prasad Mishra. He is the National Vice President and State Chief Commissioner, Odisha State. And our HOD Philosophy, MCNL, Prashant Acharya is there. And Dr. Namita, Convener, who is very dynamic, active. And because the program, we are depending upon so many technology things. So mind is also a technology things. You see here only we can see. So to deal with these technology things becomes difficult, and the mind is so minute technology thing. How to difficult we can understand. Now the question will come, Swamiji, why you have accepted in this invitation? There are two types of devotees are there here. One is all maximum are related directly scout and guide. So they are being habit of listening different type of programs. So due to these programs, Namita invited all and officially, and Mr. Kali and our Prashant, they have taken interest. They have given permission to her. So one type of group is there who are connected with a direct scout and guide. And other are two types also. Second is two type. One is last 40 years I am here, and last 40 years I'm in spiritual path, giving discourses, guiding. So connected are there, as Namita was telling where I was, Ranchi, Roorkela, Kolkata, Himachal Pradesh, like that. So within 40 years, the devotees are there connected with Chinmay Mission and with me personally. And now, as already she has mentioned, that MOA, Maharashtra Oriya Welfare Association, and they have connected all over the world for the scout and guide people. Just I am telling, especially Kaliji and Prasantji, they can know that Puri Gajpati Maharaj, and I think both are from Odisha, so they know the Gajpati Maharaj's place and how we order him. A Oriya person order him as a Chalanti Pratima. So he has inaugurated him. He has come twice. The first day, and then also when I came to the picture on 17. So he inaugurated, he spoke also more about 25 minutes. So from that more about 500 online morning they are attending. So from that group also they are attending. That is why we are more about 169. Very, very great effort of our Namita and the Kali Prasad ji and Prasant ji. They have taken interest. So thank you. Now come to the point. Why I have accepted the invitation? I told about these three types of devotees are here. But why I have accepted the invitation? Number one is, to be frank, when I could know about the guide and scout, and then I remember it reminded me in my childhood. In the high school, I was an NCC student in high school. And in +2, at that time it was not +2, it was science, that is called intermediate science. I was in scout and guide. I was in scout and guide, and we have served so many places. So I thought this is a big platform. What we do, the karma yoga. Really, what I teach in the third chapter, it is a practical application, field of practical application we do. So let me speak in a new audience. Let me speak about the karma yoga with a new audience, with the topic of the mind. My mind is a friend or foe. So now come to the point directly. And as I know that so many devotees are impatient, already 12:05 now, exact 12:45, 40 minutes I will complete. So my topic will be as a class, in any class, 40 minutes class. So I will take exact 40 minutes class. And I will request you, please accept some of, like Namita and Kaliji and Prashant Acharya, only 3 are allowed to on video others, please switch up. Because as you know, Namita is controlling. If you on all videos, then the quality of the recording, quality of the picture will be low down. This is the technology. So except Namita and Kali Prasad ji, he is our chief patron, and Prasant, only three, or any technology helping faculty will be there, then they can. Otherwise, all please, for listening properly, please close your video. Like Naresh, I am seeing. Naresh, please close your video. Naresh ji. And other, I think, I don't know who is. So close your video and just listen attentively, not tentatively. Clear? Now start my point. The topic is my mind, foe or friend. Once we entering to that main topic for touch, let us see how we interact in this world. हम कैसे व्यवहार करते हैं लोगों से और व्यक्ति से. There are two types. As I divided in a systematic way, you could understand the audience is three types. So like that, we every day, in every moment, we interact. How? There are two types things. One is we interact with object. That is called is our field of action. So in the field of action, we interact with the object. There what happens, like today, Namita was interacting with the object. Namita was handling. So it all in a sudden light has gone. And I have presumed, so light may go on. So before that, I have set up the generator. I have set up the backup, all the things. So like that. So we are dealing with the objects. We are dealing with the technology parts. So although all in a sudden light has gone, so we have to adjust. So the nature of the objects are static. The nature of the objects are inert. There are some systems, for example, mobile, iPhone, and then iPhone. Then what happened? There you should know the properties of an object. You should know for the property of a thing. Once you know, then there will be no problem. Because just listen attentively. Objects, they don't change. The objects, they don't change in their nature. The objects, they don't change in their nature as it is there. अर्थात जो पदार्थ है, जो वस्तु है, वो अपने आप में परिवर्तन नहीं होता है. आप आज रखा जैसे तैसे, कल भी रखा ऐसे. केवल आपको केवल मेथड्स जानना पड़ेगा कि मोबाइल है, आपको रिचार्ज करना पड़ेगा. You have to recharge only. You have to refresh only. For example, who is using the Meet, Google Meet and Zoom? Well, no, I am using, but sometimes it is not linking up. Sometimes it is not joining up. You have to make refresh. You have to make the update. You have to make everything. So the objects are very, very simple. Once you know the method, it is interesting. But too difficult with the person is more difficult. One is object, so deal with the object. Too difficult with the person is more difficult. How? For example, you are dealing with a person. Once a person is dealing with another person, there will be also three categories. One is, he may be your friend. That is good. And then how he will be your friend? That if you give him something, if you help him, then he will be friend, he will be obliged to you. अगर आपने मदद किया है, तो then वो आपको मदद oblige होगा, वो आपको भी मदद करेगा, इसलिए आप friend हो जाते हो. परस्परम भावयन्तः. And then suppose you don't give him, and suppose you expect something from him, and he didn't give you, and then he becomes your Shatru. That means to Shatru and Mitra, just I am entering the subject. Shatru and Mitra is not a permanent feature of a person. Shatru and Mitra is a relative feature. It depends upon your wish. It depends upon your want. It depends upon your liking and disliking. Clear? So nobody is Satru, nobody is Mitra. It depends upon your liking and disliking. So some become your Mitra and some becomes your Shatru. How? It depends upon your liking, your selfish. If you are selfish and you didn't get what you wanted, then he becomes, no, I don't want you. He becomes your foe. And you want something and he helped you, then he becomes your friend. It is a relative term. And you cannot, and you see, for example, one person, your friend from childhood is a childhood friend. And and you have told also, you have promised also, you have told also, he is my friend. And to example, it might be some when youth will be there. Then suppose a young boy in a hostel and his friend, and I think some are on mute, so sound is coming on. Please mute yourself. Namita, you see, that is why somebody has written, except the Google, the Zoom meeting is fine. Doesn't matter. In Google also I do every day, but as you are the co-host, you should have done, you just see and make it mute to all. Who are in unmute, just mute. See that. There should not be any sound. Just listen. A friend, two friends are there. A friend is telling that he is my friend. And from childhood. And they have come to the college hostels studying in engineering or medical or whatever, maybe, or computer. And there the co-education is there. And one girl loves one friend. Number one friend, number one. And number two also loves to that girl. Now enmity starts. See? अगर एक लड़की एक फ्रेंड वन को प्यार करती है और नंबर टू फ्रेंड लड़की को प्यार करती है, तो अभी नंबर वन के प्रति, अरे तू मेरा शत्रु है, मैं जिसको चाहता हूं तू फंसा रहा है, हो गया ना? इसलिए यू कैन नॉट टेल, यू कैन नॉट बैन, यू कैन नॉट सील दैट ही विल बी माई फ्रेंड. तो एक ही व्यक्ति, आप देखो जो दृष्टि है, how according to your selfish he will be your foe, according to your help you are getting, if you want your desires are fulfilled, then he will be your friend. And in second, same person, you cannot demand that he will be friend permanently, it will be changed. That means when your mind change, friend change. So you understand the point? That means we are going inner. When our mind changes, then our friend changes. If your mind is okay, you sacrifice. See, whole world in Ayodhya thinks that Bharata has some desire, motives. He would be king. That is why his mother Kaikeyi asked. But Bharata is feeling guilty. That I didn't want. I don't want also now. Because this kingdom is my brother's. I respect, accept him as a master. Sevaka dharma ati kathinai. I am his sevak. See the attitude. In Ramayana, what teaches? That you give. And Mahabharata, the Duryodhana, what teaches? Take. If you give, that is karma yoga. So in our scout and guide also, we do something. Suppose in flood, suppose in drought, suppose in village, in regular basis also, we go there, we clean, we sweep, we educate to the villagers. Why? We want to give. Not that we want to take. I remember, I think, am I be correct? In NCC, at least after the parade, we get something. I think, but in Scout, it not be there, because you have, in NCC, it is a national cadet, it is government funded. So we get some snacks in every period. And we in NCC we get so many facilities, what I know. Even I have attended also camp in Chhatrapur, Gopalpur, Chhatrapur. There I remember. Chhatrapur, Barampur, Chhatrapur. When I was a student of 9th class, I attended camps. But scouts also so many camps. It is in total all India basis. That is why in Bharata Scout. But there the motive is that, the objective is that we have to serve. What I know, then only I can give. If you are inspired, then only you can inspire others. So what I am to speak, second point is, if your mind is okay, everybody will be friend. If your mind will not be okay, everybody will be foe. Let me tell a beautiful story, then you can understand. In Mahabharata Yuga, Grahacharya was the teacher. And Bhishma appointed him as a teacher, and that you please be here in our kingdom and teach both dynasty, Kauravas and Pandavas. The Pandavas were the Yudhishthira, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, and in between Bhima. And the Kauravas, Duryodhana, etc. are there. This is a beautiful thing is there. In the meantime, I may tell you so that you can understand. Either if your youth are there, you may don't think that either the Mahabharata war happened or not. Yes, in history it had happened, but every time the Mahabharata is going on. This body is nothing but the war of Kurukshetra, Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra. And the mind is the two types of the soldiers are there. One is the vices are the Kauravas, the virtues are the Pandavas. And as you know, the virtues are countable. You can count in number, only 5. And the vices are many. The vices are many like do. And you know in Sanskrit, prefix and suffix you read in grammar. In Sanskrit, suffix, prefix and suffix, they call it parasarga, upasarga. Suffix is parasarga and upasarga is a prefix. So when you use upasarga, there are two types. One is good and one is bad. Su, kara, su, karya, su, phala. Clear? And ku, karma, ku, phala, duryodhana. See? So means duryodhana, dushasana, they are pointing the negative qualities. And see the beautiful meaning of these 5. Yudhishthiraha, yuddhe sthiraha iti yudhishthiraha. Yuddha is a unfavorable condition. Yuddha is a face the challenges of the life. So in the negative qualities, once your mind calm and quiet, then it becomes Yudhishthira. For the time being, for exact 11:30, all in a sudden, as Namita declared, the light has gone. And she also gone from the screen. She has prepared something. That means it becomes a war moment for us. Everybody. So what to be done at that time? Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. You cannot do anything. That will be the role of Yudhishthira. Who has to do? He will work, and others, as you are spectators, as you are listeners online, just be Yudhishthira. You cannot do anything. And one person has told the initiate as Arjuna that I think Shantanu from Chennai, Swamiji, can you start? Well, I cannot start really. So I can tell to Kali Prasad ji. And Kali Prasad has told that, okay, let me wait for 2 minutes. Then one body has told, we have waited so many minutes. Well, okay, you have waited so many minutes. Now let us wait for 2 minutes more. And then he started. He spoke. And Namita could know. That is why she only named, because he could already spoke beautifully. So what I am to tell you, our role we should know. Our role at that time when mind becomes calm and quiet. Yuddhe sthiraha iti yudhishthiraha. This is a good quality, beautiful quality. Let us develop it. And second is Bhima Sena. Bhim is the strength of the mind, strength of the body. We need Nayamatma Balhinena Labhyaha. Who is weak person? You see, in your also scout and guide, if a weak person will not be permitted to join. He must be strong. Sometimes when in flood, especially Baleswar, Bhadrak and Puri and others area, the scout and guide, they go, they work and the dead bodies and the garbages from the seashore, the villagers, they have to take. If a person weak, he is a patient, can he be the scout and guide person? No. The strong, the body must be strong and it represent Bhima. See? So that means within us only, when I become strong, at that time I become Bhima. And when I calm and quiet, I become Yudhishthira. And the Arjuna is simplicity, surrender to God. Whatever thing, oh my Lord, nimitta matram bhava sabya sachin, sadhimam tam prapannam. That means I surrender to you, Lord. Whatever you want, you tell me. And how you direct me, how you give the instruction, I will do accordingly. That is Arjuna. Surrender. A beautiful English word is there. Surrender. In my class, when I go in physically, I just spell out. Please tell surrender, surrender. The children, they loudly they speak surrender. Then I tell sir under is equal to surrender. That means this is sir, that head becomes always a representative of symptom of ego. When we sir under, it becomes surrender. Arjun. That means simplicity. Fourth is Nakula. Nakula. Kula means group. So our mind must not be in group. Our mind must be in penetration. Our mind must be in our mind must be penetrated. Our mind must be in single pointed. Then it will be Nakula and Sahadeva. Really, the people who are interested, the people they want to become Sahadeva. This is the Sahadeva. Sahadeva. Saha means Sath. Deva means Devata. That means we want always with divinity. That means Satsang. Who the lover of the Satsang, the lover of the Devata, the lover of the divinity. No, where the vices are there, I will not go. He becomes Sahadeva. See, these are the good qualities. And all vices are this Kauravas are there. So what I want to tell you a beautiful story at that time. The foe and friend depends upon you only. Foe and friend depends upon your mind only. Second point. To illustrate this, to explain this, to understand this, let me tell you a beautiful story from the Mahabharata. Dronacharya was the teacher. And he knows that the elder brother of the Kauravas is Duryodhana, and the elder brother of the Pandavas is the Yudhishthira, and Yudhishthira is the elder of among all. So that is why Vidur has told that Yudhishthira is only Yuvraj, can be Yuvraj, and he is the future king. So to know, to explain, to give this knowledge to the whole world and especially to the Bhishma and others, and to himself to realize who? Duryodhana. He has to realize himself what is the limitation, what arrogance he has, what is the pride he has to understand. So he has told, Yudhishthir, you are the elder. I will give you a task. Now, what is the task? Task is, can you go in this Hastinapur, in the capital? I am giving you 3 times, 3 days. In scout and guide also you are doing some as you are all masters are there. They are thinking so many creative that how to engage the children, how to give a beautiful play. So like that a teacher has told 3 days I am giving you time. Yudhishthira, okay, 3 days, then what to do? Now 3 days I am giving you a time. In your capital, Hastinapur, you have to find out. Now, okay, Gurudev, what to do? Now you have to find out a fault man. You have to find out a bad man. Okay, Gurudev. 3 days time. Okay, exact 12 o'clock. Now 12:25. So after 3 days, you just come and tell me who is a bad man. Okay. And after some time, he called to Duryodhana. And Duryodhana, yes, Gurudev. You see his style. Yes, Gurudev. You have to find out A person. Oh, I can find out a person, no problem. In my capital, okay. Because he thinks that I am the Rajkumar. Dhritarashtra is ruling, so I am the son of him, and so I do whatever I want to do. Okay, you go to the capital, Hastinapur, 3 days time, and you have to find out a good man. See, the task for Yudhishthira is to find out a bad man. The task for the Duryodhana is to find out a good man. And both has in their mission and both failed. And they came after 3 days and Yudhishthira tell, I didn't find a bad man. Everybody is having some good thing. So I cannot say that he is a bad man. And this fellow, that is why I told you, this fellow now find fault finding bolte hain. Fault finding, he is telling nobody is a good Gurudev. So you see, he crossed Yudhishthira. And Yudhishthira, you know, in Mahabharata it is written, Yudhishthira don't occur the word Duryodhan. Because Duryodhan, he knows the meaning is bad. Duryodhan. So he lovingly he tells Suyodhan. See, beautiful. So Duryodhana, the word is Duryodhana. Yudhishthira is so good, so divine. Duryodhana also he calls Suyodhan. But this fellow didn't see the good thing that he's a good man. So I can call him, I can drag him, I can take him. In his hand I can shake him and tell that he's a good man. That means it depends upon you. If you put on a red glass, the whole world will be red. If you put on a blue glass, the whole world will be blue. It depends upon you or your attitude. If your attitude is good, you will see the everything. That means the foe and friend depends upon your first was your liking. Nobody's friend, nobody's foe. It depends upon you, your liking, and then they even they become friend and foe. That it depends upon them. If their selfish is not satisfied, they become foe. And then when it comes to you, your mind, it depends upon you. If you are good, you will say everybody is good. If you are bad, you will see that everybody is bad. Let me tell you another story you can understand. When we keep a bad thing in us, a saint has told a beautiful thing, remember. With good attitude, if you start your day, that day can never be bad. With bad attitude, if you start a day, that day can never be good. That bad day or good day depends upon your attitude, depends upon your attribute, depends upon your motive, depends upon your vision. Clear? That means, and Hendrik, one beautiful philosopher, has told, world is not things, world is thought. We are thinking, what is the world? It is the combination of things. No. It is thought. It is according to thought. If your thought is good, world is good. If your thought is bad, then your world is bad. So what I am to tell you, that you change your attitude. You inculcate good attitudes. You inculcate good values, then you will see everybody is good. Clear? Two steps we have seen. We have seen who can be our friend, who can be our foe according to them. If they have good motives, then they will tell that you are my friend. If they have bad motives, then same person will tell that you are my foe. Second point, it depends upon my mind. It depends upon my attitude. According to my mind, see here the second point is my mind. I am stressing this. Now I am going to 3 points. Third point. So according to my mind is good, he is friend. My mind is bad, he is bad. And if you have a good values, then everything is good. Let me tell a story, very short. A ant, ant माने जो एक कीड़ा है, ant, red ant. Red ant was in walking. Due to COVID, she was not out, and she thought that now it is unlocking, so let me walk. And he was in agarbatti brand, very patli, dubli, thin one. And she saw a big, thick ant, red ant, and like hathi brand, elephant brand. And he prostrated, she prostrated, the thin one. Oh, so you are big one, like a fine. Where do you stay? I stay in the sugar store. I eat, I get plenty. Oh, fine, you are lucky, your prarabdha is fine, but I stay in the salt, that salt store. So I am being bored eating salt. Oh, okay, I am inviting you dinner. मैं दावत तुमको बुला रही हूँ, कल शाम को आ जाओ. आज ही आ जाओ ना. अभी तो मॉर्निंग है, आज ही आ जाओ. Okay. So this salt ant, we can name salt ant and sugar ant. The salt ant went to sugar ant. Now the salt ant, sugar ant told, see the huge storehouse of the sugar, you can eat whatever you want. How many minutes, times, don't worry, full night you can take. And she took the salt ant and she came. In the next morning, while in the walking, that sugar ant with very arrogantly, because she has invited, she has fed, she asked, how did you like my dinner, my sugar testing? Although salt ant is telling, although sugar was okay, but I didn't find it was so tasty. Then she told, how come? How it is possible that sugar is not tasty? Tell me, how did you take? Now, the thing is that before coming from my salt store, I thought at night, if I don't get proper food, I will be hungry. So I kept salt in my mouth. Just see, I kept salt in my mouth and I came, I took the sugar. That is why I didn't get the exact taste of sugar. If you keep salt in your mouth, can you get the taste of sugar? Like that. If you keep salt in our mind, negative in our mind, and we start, can you get the goodness, the tastiness of this life? We cannot. If you have our bad motives, always vices, then we cannot get the world is good. Clear? Second point. Now, the third is there. Nothing is a friend and foe. Your mind is friend and foe. If your mind is good, then you are good. And then your mind is good. You're bad, then you are bad. So you have to control the mind. Once you control the mind, everything becomes mind. The world becomes good, everything, it depends upon the mind. Atmaiva hyatmano bandho, atmaiva ripuratmana. This is the original sloka with my topic. My mind, foe, friend or foe. From where you have taken this? This 6th chapter sloka, chapter. Atmaiva hyatmano bandho, atmaiva ripuratmana. This is 5th sloka, 6th chapter, 5th sloka. That your mind is friend, your mind is foe. It depends upon the mind. Who controls the mind? For him, nothing. Let me tell a beautiful story, then you can understand. Lord Buddha was moving. In his initiate sadhana, so nobody was there. Alone he was moving. In one village, Angulimal Rakshas was there. So the villagers told that, please, O monk, don't go. One Rakshas is there, he is eating. And he cuts the Anguli from a person and then he makes the garland. That is why he is called Angulimala Rakshas. Then he laughed, smiled. Don't worry. He was out of fear, free from fear. Please don't go. You will be killed. He didn't bother, smiled. Really, he was in that free from above the fear. So he went away. That Angulimal was on the top of the stone, that hill, and he asked, "Oh, youth, oh monk, stop. Did you not know that I am Angulimala and you are, without knowing, I think you are entering in my area, my field. I am Angulimal Rakshas. I can eat, I can kill. Stop. And you are a monk, I think." Then Buddha Dev told, already I am stopped. Already I have stopped my thing. You stop. What are you speaking? You are walking slow. I am sitting on this stone. No. You are telling on the realm of body. But in mind, I have stopped. I have controlled. But your mind is agitated. So you make stop your mind. Then he came down, jumped. He didn't understand what Lord Buddha is telling. Then he clarified. Lord Buddha again explained that control your mind. If you control your mind, then you will get anything. Why you are doing these things? To get happiness. And get happiness in the mind only. So mind becomes your friend. Mind becomes your foe if you control this. See, beautiful. Manaiva manushyanam karana bandha mokshayoho. Mind is the cause of your bondage and cause of your happiness. If your mind is controlled, then mind becomes very friend. If mind is not controlled, that it will be foe. अभी देखो ना, इस COVID में, अब if your mind is not controlled, you are feeling bored. If you are engaging mind, then everything fine. Already 1.5 months, 1.5 years gone, but you are not feeling bored because your mind is controlled. You know how to engage your mind. If you are not, you don't know how to engage your mind. You always need vehicle. You always need good food, market food, and then you always need transportation. You always need drinks. You always need friends. You all are depend upon them. Your mind is telling, and you are not controlling your mind. Then same mind becomes foe. So control the mind, control the world. Swami Vivekananda. And so in this field, if you control your mind, you can be a good guide and scout. If teachers are there, they can good teachers. Guide, really guide is there, so you can be a good guide. And the students will be there, they can control and they can know this is the beautiful field. Through this scout and guide, I can serve people. Once your mind is controlled, then only you can serve. If your mind is not controlled, selfish is there, you cannot control, serve the also people. So this is the thing. With this, I conclude already exact as I told you, 12:40 I will complete. So I have completed. Thank you. Now let us, if you have some questions, अगर किसी का कुछ प्रश्न है तो पूछ सकते हो. किसी का कुछ प्रश्न है? क्योंकि मेरा शाम को क्लास है, so I have to take my lunch and rest, and so that my 4 o'clock again class है youth के लिए. So question है तो बढ़िया है, and we short we can complete.
गुरुजी प्रणाम जी. गुरुजी
स्वामी जी प्रणाम.
हाँ, कोई बोल रहा है कुछ? कौन बोल रहा है?
I'm again Shantanu from Chennai.
Shantanu, okay, you speak. Okay.
Swamiji, when Kaliji started, he described mana mind is conscious, subconscious and unconscious, 3 variety.
Yeah.
But in our Yoga Shastra and we are finding mana, chitta, buddhi, ahankara, purusha. If you have time, I think I am putting you in a
yeah,
bit.
I can come in short and then really my Gita class I will vividly explain. So I can.
According to my understanding, this conscious and subconscious, unconscious, this is brain part, not in mind. if you can little clarify it according to mana buddhi
Yeah, yeah.
chitta ahankara,
Okay,
it
okay,
will be.
okay.
Thank you,
No,
Swami.
no, already the psychologists, when they say about the mind, so, but we can relate, the conscious Chetana Mana, it is in Jagrat Avastha, and Avachetana Mana in Swapna Avastha, and Achetana Mana in Susupti Avastha. So we also believe and we demonstrate, we describe about the three Avastha. One is Jagrat Avastha, one is Swapna Avastha, and one is Susupti Avastha. And in Drigdrishya Vivek also it is written clearly what Kali has told that these three, the Ahankara, the mana buddhi chitta ahankara, the chitta, that the mana or you tell the Ahankara, in Jagrata Avastha Sarvastu Jagaraha, it is full active, but in Sapna half active, and in the Susupti no active. The doors are closed. So the achetana, just remember the word, achetana, unconsciousness, what he has told. Because in psychology also, he has referred the psychology, and the psychology is manovigyan. And the manovigyan, the psychology, the modern psychology. Already I referred in my Gita class, you remember, that is the old ancient psychology is these three, Upanishad, Gita, Yoga Vasishta and Yoga Darshan. It is written there. So the achetana mana, it plays, it works in Susupti, deep sleep. And avachetana mana, it works in functions in Swapna. And the chetana mana works in Jagrata Avastha. Thank you. Again, continue. From
Thank
the
you, Guruji.
scout and
Pranam Guruji.
guide audience.
Pranam Guruji.
Who is speaking?
Pranam Guruji.
Lala.
Lala Anantar Singh Purir बोलते कौतुली नमस्कार गुरुजी बेले बेले देखा जाए गोटे माने अनिर्स माने गोटे गहड़ी परिवार भितर लोक किसी ध्यान करि पारन
हिंदी रे पचारंदे हिंदी रे
नहीं मो ओडिया कोई परिबी से हठात कोई परिबनी हिंदी रे कोई परिबनी
मैं लाला अनंत सिंह बोल रहा था उड़ीसा पुरी से
हां कौन दो आपण कोडी ओडिया रे कौन
एक दिन देखा जाता है घर में जब घर में जब जाम होता है वही टाइम में माइंड आप माइंड फ्री नहीं रहता घर में
हाँ ओके
माइंड कैसे फ्री रहेगा
देखो आप हाँ आप घर में एंगेज करो कुछ अच्छे अच्छे चीज में सत्संग करने के लिए अब मोबाइल यूज कर रहे हो तो यूट्यूब में सत्संग सुनो कुछ मेडिटेशन करो कुछ प्राणायाम करो कुछ अध्ययन करो तो समथिंग यू हैव टू एंगेज एंड कुछ समय आप वॉकिंग करो अगर कहीं जैसे आप कहीं देख रहे हो कोई दुखी है तो उसकी सेवा करो कुछ ना कुछ करो एंगेज रहो या तो कर्म में या तो भावना में कर्म या भावना या तो विचार जब आप सत्संग कर रहे हो जब आप चिंतन कर रहे हो तो विचार में जब आप पूजा कर रहे हो तो भावना में जब आप कहीं जा रहे हो कुछ सेवा कर रहे हो तो कर्मों में तीनों ही आप कुछ भी कुछ कर सकते हो आपके इंटरेस्ट के अनुसार आज जैसे अभी नामिता को पूछेंगे तो बोले स्वामी जी आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इन स्काउट एंड गाइड बढ़िया सो दिस इज कर्म योगा ओके और किसी को भक्तों को पूछोगे बोलेंगे मैं भगवान का भजन करूंगा करो और कहो मैं चिंतन करूंगा स्वामी जी करो तो अकॉर्डिंग टू योर इंक्लिनेशन अकॉर्डिंग टू योर इंटरेस्ट you do but whatever thing you dedicate to God and that becomes sadhana that becomes yoga with dedication with karma it becomes karma yoga dedication with your emotions it becomes bhakti yoga and dedication with your thoughts that is jnana yoga clear lala fine next
धन्यवाद गुरुजी
okay conclude karo namita
Okay sir.
vote of thanks prasad ji ko de do
Ji, prior to that, I just want to tell only one sentence because in this distress period, you know, Dr. Kaliprasad Mishra, he is real source of inspiration for me. And, you know, he is the Vice President, National Vice President for Scouts and Guide India and
please
also the State Chief
please
Commissioner.
come video. Kaliprasad ji, come to video.
Yes,
I want to see you.
Yes, he is there.
Yeah, I have seen him.
Yeah, he's there. So, and he is...
yes, thank you.
He is the guiding force behind all these virtual seminars, and his dynamic leadership, efficiency, and effective guidance, valuable suggestion, all those things. Swamiji, you can't believe, helped me to organize
Where do,
35 number of webinar.
where does he stay?
He is a man from Puri. His
Ah.
father is our freedom fighter, Pandit Raghunath Mishra from Odisha.
Where he
And
stays?
he stays in Bhubaneswar.
That's very good.
Yeah, and
Kaliji, when I come to Bhubaneswar, I will meet you.
he is completely
please.
Kali Prasad, when I come to Bhubaneswar, I will meet you. I will meet you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And you will find, you will be very happy to see our state secretary, Mr. Ramurti Dora. He is from Balipadar, from Barampur. And he is so happy to see you. And he joined. I'm not getting him. Dora sir, are you there? Dora sir, he joined. And he was so happy to listen from you. And I'm so happy that he was there, but I don't know where he is now. But they all will be happy when you will come to Bhubaneswar. Please come to our headquarters.
Yes, I will come.
We are having very, very friendly friends, only 10 to 20 members of state headquarters, and all of them joined here, and all of them are the backbone of my program.
Okay.
You know, Swamiji, when I start doing this program means all of them join together, and it becomes a great program only for them only, and also my Morsical staff. So I really bow down my heads before Kepisa, because every time he helps us, and you might have seen this time. And one more thing I want to say, Mrs. Das, Anamika Das, are you there?
No, she
is also a very good friend of mine. She is the state organizing commissioner, and she could speak Hindi very nicely. She is MA in Hindi, and so she is also very good. So we'll have some more session with you. I'll plan with Kepisa and let you know very soon. Now,
sure.
You see, one of the lady here, Santilata Raut madam from Jagsonpur. She is our very old commissioner, district commissioner.
Retired district education officer.
Yeah. And she is so interested, you see. At the age of 80, 85, 90, you will find the people, they are very, very strong enough. Just now I want to see Dora sir. She was so lovely. He thought that you are there, so he joined. Anyhow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So now we could have seen that life is after all a roller coaster, just ride, and sometimes the going is great, at other time it is indeed bad. So for most of us, handling the situation when the going is bad is biggest challenge. Just like me, I face a big challenge when it is going bad. So moment sometimes bad happens, it seems that there is a lot of work cut out for our analytical mind. So this is my conclusion from this webinar. Now, I'll just, before Professor Prasant Acharya is going to, Professor Prasant Acharya will Professor Prasant Acharya will propose a vote of thanks. Prior to that, I'll request Dr. K.P. Mr. Sir to present a virtual memento to our sir, Swamiji. Yes, he is the resident Swamiji of Patiala Chinmay Mission Center.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are grateful to you, really. And we are really grateful because on this day, whatever problem faces by us, you also share it. So thank you very much. Now it's time. Only 2 certificates I want to give in the hands of our Swamiji, our chief speaker of today, because there are 2 persons you might have seen. They are processing their certificates. I have already prepared their certificates. I want to prepare, just hand over it to them. through your hands. One is Mr.
नमस्ते मैम, मैं एक बात कहना चाहूँगा।
Mr. Gyanaranjan Sahu from Ajavana Savaniya Sikhyasam Puri.
हेलो हेलो
Yes.
हेलो
Please.
नमिता मैम,
Just a minute. Swami ji, please hand over virtually the certificate.
Yes,
to-
yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Gyanaranjan, please receive. And there are two boys. Prayas Mahapatra. See, the first person who joined the program. So, I welcome him. Please receive the certificate.
Thank you, madam.
Ramchandra sir, mute karantu. Yes. Now I request Professor Prashant Kumar Acharya. He is the gold medalist of philosophy in the Utkal University, and he is the head of the Department of Logic and Philosophy of Maharshi College of Natural Law, and he has given his kind consent to be with us during this webinar. So may I request Prashant sir, please propose a vote of thanks to all the guests and dignitaries. Over to Prashant sir. Prashant sir, you are mute. Please unmute yourself. Prashant sir, please unmute yourself.
Yes. Thank you,
Yeah.
madam. Jai Jagannath. A very warm and graceful afternoon to the Honorable Chief Speaker, Sri Swami Madhabananda ji, Chief Patron Dr. K.P. Mishra sir, Convener Dr. Namita Pattanaik madam, and the amazingly delightful and patient listeners of today's event. It is my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this lively occasion. No event can be successful without the people who dedicate their unflinching support and valuable time to make sure everything is faultless. I, on behalf of the entire fraternity, would like to extend my heartiest thanks to our chief guest for the day, Swami Madhabananda ji. His insightful thoughts and elegance of explanation of everything has surely left a deep impact on all of our minds. We are definitely looking forward to more of his lessons in the future. I would like to thank Chief Patron Dr. K.P. Mishra sir for taking out his valuable time and gracing the occasion with his words of wisdom. I would also like to thank our convener, Dr. Namita Pattanaik madam, for organizing such a beautiful event. Your sincere efforts and diligence has surely set an example for us. And last but not the least, thank you from the core of my heart goes to all the lovely listeners without whom the event would not have been a success. Thank you once again, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Prashant sir, and thanks all of you for joining and encouraging us with your kind presence. And thanks to Mawa, and thanks to Sri Jagannath Chintao Chetana worldwide and the Mark. So I'm really grateful to all of you, and I bow down my head before the Almighty Lord Jagannath, who has given me patience like Yudhishthir to continue this program and to conduct this webinar with all the mercy of Lord God. Thank you, sir. Now I request our patron to allow me to close this program. May I close, sir?
नमिता,
Yes, sir.
वो
स्वामी जी
मैं ही बोल देता हूँ. रियली जो लोग है उड़ीसा रो जो माने अछंती से माने
आज्ञा
करीब 6:30 7:30 रेगुलर गीता
उठेला नीला अवसर कर
जो लोग हिंदी
फ्री होती 17 समय कबला कह कुछ
Yes.
मेरा नंबर ले लीजिए और
हाँ।
कनेक्ट रखिएगा। मैं अभी भागवत दूंगा शाम को, फिर
हाँ।
रेगुलर ऐसे चलता है तो आप लोग जुड़ सकते हो।
I'll share in my group. We are having 2 groups, sir, for this mind group. So in that group, I'll share so that all of you can join. Dr. Rajesh Kumar Singh, if you have any problem, I know he is from Jharkhand. So I'll share the phone number of our Swamiji. You can talk to him. Okay, Rajesh ji?
ओके मैम।
Okay.
और आज का सेशन बहुत ही अच्छा रहा, और खासकर स्वामी जी ने बताया कि नजरिया जो है, लोगों को जिस नजरिया से देखा जाएगा उसी के अनुसार हम सभी अपने आप को इस क्षेत्र में आगे बढ़ सकते हैं। इसलिए नजरिया को बदलना बहुत आवश्यक है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैम जी, और स्वामी जी को मेरा प्रणाम, कालीश्वर जी को प्रणाम, और समस्त लोग जो आज जुड़े हुए हैं उनको भी बहुत बहुत प्रणाम। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much. Now I'm going to close the recording first. Then I'll stop recording. Then I'll stop